Hello, SpeedGaming. I am akuheish. I'm gonna be playing some Jets of Time. It's Legacy of Cyrus, and I'm joined by Lord Batsy.
Yes, I will be joining Aku in the commentary booth today to hopefully provide helpful commentary and hopefully not provide unhelpful commentary.
Yeah, we can get going and talk about what all this is about. So, three,
Yeah, let's
2, 1, go.
Right. So we've got a vanilla start here with Chrono and Luca. Normally I would be pretty pleased with this start, but this is Legacy of Cyrus mode, which is kind of the all the frog and mega stuff mode of our Chrono Trigger randomizer. So we're going to have to find Frog and Magus and use them in our party. And ultimately, the goal is going to be defeating, actually, Ozzy and Slash and Flea in Ozzy's fort. Typical go modes for Jets of Time, you'll fight Lavos or Queen Zeal at the end, but not in this mode. So Aku's hitting the sunken desert, looks like.
Yeah, gonna look for some better gear.
Mm-hmm. So that's a new feature in our beta. If you saw that treasure box description pop up, the Lapis recovers 200 HP to the whole party, which, you know, most people who play this know. But I believe Aku is playing with Gear Randomizer on, not healing item rando. We can see that Lapis was standard. But that means, there we go, there was a greatest -2, and, you know, obviously a lot of players were gonna skip through these text boxes quickly, but it is very nice to have the effects popping up, especially since the boxes don't freeze you, and a tap invest +1 with Luca in the party is nothing to be pissed off about, right?
And speed +2 on her gear.
Mm-hmm. Yes, Luca is probably the best character in the game for magical damage output, but she's slow. So we like speed on Luca. And Aku is doing this initial fight in Denadoro Mountains to gain some levels. There are some different fights that people will do at the beginning of the game to get those levels, but this one is a pretty good option because it will get you, I believe, 2 techs and to level 6 in one fight, which is pretty convenient. Even if the goblins do take a little bit of time to knock down, they're pretty harmless, and those weapons that were found in the desert are doing their job very nicely. This is not necessarily a fight that's recommended if you have really, really poor gear, because the birds can counterattack you with chaos. They have 100 HP, and you want to be able to one-shot them. So that desert trip was very fortuitous. Aku buying some groceries.
Which is slightly out of character for me, but...
It's true. You have a bit of a reputation for not shopping. But, no, it's good to grab your consumables in Jets of Time. There's kind of a basic 5 that everyone agrees on. Prism shard here at the snail stop. Interesting. The Prism shard quests require Marl to do, so certainly in Legacy of Cyrus mode, you're going to be a little bit on alert seeing the Prism Shard that early because it requires a non-essential character, effectively. Gate key. All right, so this lazy carpenter check in Chorus or Chorus, I'm not actually sure, is kind of the one free check in Jets of Time, as long as your epic has wings, but that's a different mode. And the gate key is, no one is ever sad to find the gate key, because the gate key opens up the cupboard in the imp's house just down the street, actually, but that leads to prehistory, and it also leads to the end of time, and the end of time means you can visit Specchio to unlock magic for the 4 characters who require it, 2 of whom are Chrono and Luca, and the other 2 are Frog and Marl, who one of whom we know is going to be key to the seed, and the other of whom could be key to the seed because of that prism shard. So that's a really nice gate. Chrono, what? Pay attention. Luca like just hits him across the face or something. I don't know. They just strike me as having that kind of relationship. So Aku has looped through End of Time and is coming back out the cupboard here. And that's a good call because I'm guessing he's going to head and pick up his 3rd character pretty soon.
Yeah. Yeah, even with magic unlocked, I like to pick up the character first.
Absolutely, especially in this mode where you don't have either of your required characters, and one of them might need magic, and like, yeah, you know, even when you have early Specchio, grab as many people as you think you're gonna need first, because it's faster to just take everybody at once.
Gonna take none of these fights that will just annihilate my team of 2.
Mm-hmm. Dactyl Nest can be kind of dangerous with 2 people. Aku, of course, is notoriously fast at clicking into his menus, which makes you notoriously fast also at, you know, clicking into the menu to do the wait trick, so that, ooh, nice. That's one of the Dactyl Nest skips. So, if your characters are really slow, I mean, like, if you start with Luca and Robo and you're not feeling so good about your ability to get those menus open quickly and run away, this could be kind of dangerous. But, and, you know, that can happen.
Oops.
But I promise most of the time this actually works fine.
Yeah.
Throw in some slightly better gear, but it's still early and there isn't much yet. Actually, I missed your tabs. How are the tabs in this seed?
Magic is 1. Then I forgot to look at the power when I picked it up.
Fair enough. So, standard Jets of Time does randomize the power and magic tabs. Power can roll from 2 to 4, magic can roll from 1 to 3, and speed can only roll 1 because even kicking that up to 2 completely breaks the game. So, they're strong enough. And that is one of the nice frenzy bands, too. The counterattack is ATB fill, which is to say your ATB, our ATB filled. And there's Marl, so I would say with Marl and the Prism Shard available this early, most people are definitely thinking they probably have to go into the castle at some point to do some of that, if not all of it.
Yeah.
It's not always a sure thing, but it always, to me, it feels like a very good bet. I wouldn't bet against it, Blackrock Plus, very nice. So the rocks, the triple tech rocks in Gear Rando can get extra effects. Like that one's got magic +6, nice one for Luca. So even if you don't or can't use the triple tech, the rocks can have pretty nice benefits. A somewhat rare sight in Jets of Time, Frog Specchio.
I see it a lot more in Jets than I do vanilla.
It's true, it's true. But it indicates that typically you were lucky to get the gate key quite early. Fighting Specchio will get you some items. In my personal opinion, it's not really worth it till he's in his goblin form and he gives you mid-ethers. Those can be useful. Those can get you out of a jam.
Yeah, right now it would just be a magic tab.
Yep. All right, Ak is gonna duck in here and peek inside Frog's burrow here. There's a character check down here, and it's Magus. Especially at this point, when you've got your first 3 characters and none of them are the required players for your mode. It's a very good idea to peek inside the burrow, especially since this category is going to require you to repair the Masamune sword to get into Magus's castle, and that is also how you get the character out of there. All right. So visiting Specchio early also auto-learns up to the 3rd tech for your characters that need to visit him. So going to Specchio before even this fight is quite the benefit. I guess I could joke that you didn't get Chrono to level 7 to use Luminaire, but only because I'm a little notorious for pointing that out. And luckily Luca had Flare, and hey look, it's a Robo, somebody else you don't need.
And that also tells me who is at Magus's castle.
Does it?
Yeah, it's whoever's in the future is at Magus's castle fight. Oh, so that would be Ayla.
Okay, yeah. Yes. For the sake of simplification, this mode doesn't use the future. And since we can logic out the future check, and we know that Frog has to be one of them, we know that Frog is going to be in the back of Cathedral. So some players will choose to not finish this. We'll grab maybe the power tab and the bromide here and run out. But since we know that something required is back there, I'm guessing probably a finish.
Yeah, I'm gonna finish, get the character, start leveling Frog up, getting some of his better techs.
Indeed. And that Nagaet bromide, in vanilla, it just nets you a magic tab. In Jets, it nets you one of each. It's pretty handy. I mean, I would say the speed tab alone would make it worth it, but I mean, the other two are good too.
Oh, and power is +2, so everything rolled low.
Yep. Another minimum tab seed. Mesomail had speed on it, looks like. It's one of the nicer things you can roll in Gear Rando. Speed on equipment not meant for really slow characters. And now that Chrono has leveled up, his MP is above 20, and he can cast that. So, do you have in mind, you know, which of the characters you've picked up you're going to keep in your party, along with the other two that you need to pick up who are required?
Right now, I'm thinking Luca. But it's going to be between Luca and Chrono.
Indeed. Luca already has Flare, which is great because this is the mode that requires Frog. Flare goes into Frog Flare. You know, with Luca, overall, Fire 2 is kind of her best spell in terms of synergy with other characters. But again, in this mode where you're going to have to use Frog and Magus, that Flare is definitely the one you're looking for. And Chrono is a little more dependent on getting him a decent weapon, or like a pretty good one. But we've buffed X-Strike a little bit because, as has been explained, Chrono and Frog's other two double techs basically use either one of their magic stats, and neither of them has a particularly good magic stat. So, X-Strike now uses Spin Cut and Leap Slash instead of Slurp Cut and Cyclone, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gonna fight Yakra back here. With or without Boss Rando on, this is a pretty safe spot.
And picked up a decent weapon for Frog.
Yeah. That'll be nice until you inevitably get the Grand Leon, which is the powered up Masamune and also required in this mode. And we can see that Frog is named Glenn there, which I believe was one of the incentives for this run. What's really nice about Jets of Time is we've got this feature on the website where we generate our seeds, and you can change the character's default names on that screen. So if you want to rename your characters, you don't have to waste a bunch of time doing it.
And because Frog did not learn his third tech, I'm going to kind of use this to teach him his third tech and not have to give 400 tech points for his next tech.
Yes, that's right. Specchio also, I think I think you have to learn techs off of Specchio for it to work. But when you learn techs off of Specchio, he brings your tech point total, or like needed tech point total, up to I forget if it's like the number it was supposed to be for the last one, something like that. Because I just noticed it was asking for 50.
And then it's still asking for 50.
Mm-hmm. It's not often we have the flexibility to manipulate that, but early gate key is always nice. All right, so this is the Xenon Bridge check. We're gonna activate by talking to the cook down here. You can tell Aku did that pretty optimally because of where the music was at when he ran out there. And hey, it's the bent hilt. That's half the Masamune and one of the items we need. Anyway, that's how I measure how well I did that. If you can activate the cutscene before the main melody kicks in, you're in good shape. Or very good shape, honestly.
Nice, they're all about as fast as each other.
Yeah, that's always really handy. Ozzy's dropping dream bows, not so great, but this Ozzy has the same drop table as the other Ozzy encounters, so there is a potential for some pretty good drops off these fights. And we saw Aku actually attacking Ozzy 3 times. You can blow away all the skeletons on the screen with magic, and that will also end the fight. But attacking Ozzy 3 times will also end the fight. And while we've got screen wipe magic, it all costs like 20 MP. So I'm guessing that's why you're choosing not to go that route. Because there's a boss up here. Now, there technically is an opportunity in here to open the menu, but it's pretty tight. Most people just sort of cross their fingers and mash when they're trying to get it. So it can be handy, but you can't necessarily count on it.
Yeah, I decided to not even try.
So Zombor is vulnerable to physical attacks, and its two halves are vulnerable and absorb different types of magic. So the top of Zombor will absorb lightning and fire, hence the slightly slower battle of attrition right now, but once that top is blown away, this fight's going to be over in like 2 turns.
Oh no.
Oh no, Luca got MP buster. Okay, we might need like 3 turns, we'll see.
Yeah, because Chrono's magic power's not that great.
Yes, I recall your Luminaire doing something like, it was like 350-ish to Yakra, and Luca's flare was doing like 800. There we go. Protect Cyclone and the crappy Fire Whirl.
Yeah, we're never gonna get the good one.
Nope, because Ayla is not here. So we saw there that again you can change the default names before a character is named. As Magus the Fiend Lord, I guess in this particular dimension is referred to as ya boy. But that's been changed, even though we haven't picked him up yet. Alright, so Aku just visited the King and the Queen in the Middle Ages to drop off that Prism Shard, which is going to trigger the Rainbow Shell King's Trial quest in the present. Now, if you haven't played Jets of Time in a while, this sequence has changed. Crisis S-3, I guess that's a sickle.
A sickle or sword?
Or sword, yeah, it could be a sword. Did the Crisis, like, scythe get renamed the Chrysicle yet? Because that was a very important change that I advocated for.
Not yet.
But, Alright, so Aku's grabbing the key item off the Prism Shard. And it's the Hero Medal, which is good because I don't remember. Does Legacy of Cyrus force you to get that too?
No.
No. Okay, so it doesn't force you, but the Hero Medal is an easy check because it opens up that other treasure chest in the burrow. So it's kind of like when you get the Hero Medal, it's like, well, your real key item is deferred by 2 minutes, but okay. And then I mean, it's fine though. But it also is buffed in Jets of Time, so it's given Frog barrier, I think, as well as protect. He gets both, right?
Yes, he gets both.
Yes. And prism specs, I think. So
Yeah.
damage plus 50%.
It's a lot.
Yeah, that thing can absolutely be the difference between Frog being a particularly viable party member.
Oh, and in my menu, I forgot to look at Chrono's sword to see if
Okay. Mian just confirmed in chat that it is the Chrysicle if it's Magus's ultimate weapon with the crisis effect on it, and that the S must be Chrono's.
Okay.
And the crisis effect, for anyone who doesn't remember, initially comes from Robo's ultimate weapon, the Crisis Arm, and the damage is calculated off of actually the last digit of the character's hit points. I forget what the original vanilla description is, but it's not helpful. So the higher that digit is, the more damage your crisis weapons will do. Yakra 13 likes to open the fight with a couple of chaos spells, but he hit Frog both times, so that's at least something. And then after that, it's pretty much just needles. I almost said Marl doing what she does best, but then I decided that was like way too mean. I promise I wouldn't have meant it. But that said, you know, a lot of people's like fallen over dead sprites are all like, you know, and she falls like a princess. You can just tell. Fun fact, Chrono's hit stat is not great, especially when under confusion. That should snap him out of it, though. Doing some healing there, which is a good idea, because this boss has a death counter. Hey, welcome in. Thank you for the raid. All right, here come the needles. That is re-raise kicking in. So actually, re-raise is another change we've made for Jets of Time. When you randomize tech order, as we typically do, Marl's Cure spell is pretty much useless because Cure 2 is either better or Aura can be used in Aura Whirl. So Cure has been changed to re-raise, and it can really get you out of a pinch. And so this Legacy of Cyrus category is kind of the Frog and Magus category. So you're required to recruit both Frog and Magus into your party. You need to find the two pieces of the Masamune and put them back together and go through Magus's castle. And you need to find the Grand Leon, which is the powered up Masamune, which is a key item check in this mode. take that to the northern ruins, power up Frog, and then go to Ozzy's fort and hand their butts to them. But this can be a fun mode for a lot of reasons. It uses a lot of areas that you might not visit in a typical randomizer run. All right, here is the death counter. We're gonna cross our fingers. Oh, yeah, we're good.
I still had re-raise on one of them.
Yeah. I believe that little cutscene is a bit shorter now too, which is nice.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
Then you can either go take out the boss or check the item first.
Yes, you now have the option to do either or.
But if you check the item, you cannot leave until you beat the boss.
Yes, that is true. That will trigger the prism shard sequence in earnest. All right, we're gonna come into Chrono's house and heal, and I'm guessing we're gonna pet the cat on the way down.
Yes.
Oh, too fast. There we go. The kitty has been appeased. All right, so at this point, we've got one sword piece, we've got Frog, we know where Magus is, and we have the hero medal. So let's come up here and open that chest and see what's in it.
That is very much needed.
Yes. So that Wonder Mew -1 is actually the Grand Leon, but again, we've got gear randomizer on. So the Wonder effect comes from Luca's Wonder Shot, so there's a random element to the damage.
Gonna climb this mountain quick.
Yep. Denadoro Mountains is going to be a nice fast check, especially at this point. You know, the boss up here is kind of dependent on how heavily you can shell out the damage against it. Since it's a slightly beefy spot for how relatively early you can come here, but you are more than fine. And there are definitely times when grabbing the chests here would be a good idea, but I think Aku's coming back to this a little later than one might normally be expected to do it, and probably the other treasure you've got is outclassing whatever's here at this point.
Yeah, about the only thing I would want are shelters or consumables.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I wasn't to the left far enough.
Mm.
It's been a while since I got into any fights up here.
Yeah, I'd imagine. Right, mountains aren't nice today because we know our magic tabs only rolled 1. Like, if they'd rolled 3, that's probably worth it, but
Yeah.
nah, not now. Speed tab there, of course. Blue Rock Plus. That's Luca, Robo, and Magus. So if that has a nice effect on it, that might also be useful.
Not
Hit
really.
plus 10. Not, well, it's useful for Robo, but like that's probably the one person in the trio you can't really use. So, nope, alas. This mode will require both Frog and Magus, so we will not be cheesing through with Omega Flare. Alright, so when you come up here, we first have the fight against the twins, and this boss fight, even if boss random is on, is never randomized. It's always these two. There we go. There's that wonder effect doing what we want it to do.
Waiting for a leap slash.
Now have the combined Masa and Monet. And this is the fight that all the ammunition was being saved for.
There we go.
All right. Toma's Pop. We'll open up Giant's Claw.
I'm gonna go through the desert first.
Not a bad call. The Sunken Desert check, of course, requires Robo to complete, and Robo's in reserve.
Yeah, I don't need Robo in the party to beat up the boss.
Nope, you just need to bring him to see Fiona afterwards.
If I could learn X Strike, I might use Chrono instead.
Yeah, indeed. The buffed X Strike is quite nice. And while Frog Flare is good, you need to be pretty sure of yourself if you're going to use it in that last fight.
Yeah, there's lots of things that can go absolutely wrong with that.
Mm-hmm. Nice. Just that wonder effect kicking in again.
Lower the evasion so I can hit.
Mm-hmm. Good enough hit. Core has appeared. Stand by for attack. Oh no, it got away.
Right now, I'm not going to worry about it.
Yeah, so Red Knight's core can run away. Killing the core gives you twice the experience, TP. I forget about money. Probably that too. Yield from the fight. But it's certainly not critical. So we'll drop Robo off, and he won't get removed from the party. Also notable is that every once in a while you need to pay attention to this, and that's one of the things that will move the epic. It'll move it right in front of her house. Couple mid-ethers, those recover 30 MP, which is pretty nice when you've got stuff that costs 20. And then Robo is going to give us a key item, or rather, not a key item, because that was you'll correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe since the future is not unlocked in this mode, that the pendant gets replaced.
No, pendant is still available. It's
Okay.
possibly any other key item was placed there.
Yeah. In any case, in this mode, there are fewer of them, so sometimes you'll get equipment from checks other than the jerky check, which is typically the one that gives you a piece of equipment.
I don't like using my shelters if I don't have to.
Completely understandable.
They're expensive.
Yes, they are quite expensive in this mode. Or not this mode, but like this randomizer. They're relatively quite pricey compared to other consumables. Giant's Claw is, of course, the buried Tyranno lair from prehistory millions of years later. And this is the one fight that you can't avoid. And unfortunately, these things are really fast, so it's pretty likely they're going to get one attack off on most teams. So that trick of clicking into the menu there is especially key. And here's the cat. And so there are 3 power tabs in here, but because they've rolled minimum, Aku is skipping them. Magic defense plus 12 on that gold rock. But, you know, we've got Frog who could use it, and, well, Marl too, but the hero medal is probably best.
Yeah.
Right, I'm gonna fight Rust Tyranno up here. So Rust Tyranno's gonna do his countdown, which starts at 5, and when he gets to 0, he'll hit the party with a pretty strong elemental attack. But generally speaking, you can take him out before he does that. Mid-ether for Lucas, we can get those flares going again. Alrighty.
Just in time.
Down to the wire. Dropping an Aeon Helm plus 2. That's not bad. Is Chrono still in that bronze helm, or did you find something for him?
put that prism helm on Frog and Frog's thing on Chrono.
All right, Jerky. So we've climbed down to the bottom of Giant's Claw to find petrified meat. And the people of Pori down here are so desperately hungry that they will eat ancient meat. And the mystical power of the ancient meat will change the flow of time so that this jerkwad won't like make you act like a chicken or whatever, and instead will give you some treasure. Nova armor -2. Could be good. Nova armor is usually super nice because of its status protection effect, which it has not lost here. Free heal up here. And Aku came here at the beginning of the run to pick up the character from the Dactyl Nest. The key item check here is Reptite Lair. It's possible that these bugs could dig a secret tunnel through the mountain and lead us to some treasure. Now that one wasn't digging in the right sector, so Aku was right to reset the room there. Okay, so I'm not the only one who tries to trap that guy in the corner sometimes. I feel like sometimes it seems like it works, but it's probably pretty random.
it is still on that timer.
Yeah. So there is potentially really nice treasure in the secret tunnels, but you can't wait around forever trying to get a dig. You'll go crazy.
And races have been won and lost from getting and not getting secret tunnels.
It's true. This up here is the boss room. We're gonna fight Nuzbel in here. Nuzbel luckily can be stopped in its tracks by electricity. But even if you don't have electricity to shock Nizbel, you can still deal magic damage to him, but he will be doing a lot more damage to you as well. That attack there is the downside of shocking him, but I'm a firm believer that you're gonna soak a lot less physical damage if you shock Nisbel.
Yeah. Also, your physical damage actually hurts him.
Yep, with that Wonder Immune, as we call it on the table, that's definitely worth it. Should be remembered that Nisbel 2 acts differently when shocked, and the way to tell the difference is their chest colors. Nisbel 1 is yellow and 2 is green. There's Robo's ribbon. Once again, not what we need. Alright, looks like we're taking the plunge to Mount Woe.
Yeah, I don't want to go through Hecarim's Cave without a 2 spell.
Yes, these 3 characters have stubbornly avoided learning their level 2 spells, Fire 2, Lightning 2, Water 2. Which will clear the screen in most cases without completely sucking you dry of MP. But on that Woe, you will get sucked dry of MP regardless. So you can kind of use whatever. Like, Woe is left, and Hecarim Cave is left. And the Moonstone's still out there, I guess. Unless...
Oh, no.
No, did that get taken out? That's what got taken out.
Yeah, that got
Okay.
taken out.
I thought I might be remembering the wrong item earlier.
Yeah, the other Go Mode items were taken out too. And depending on characters, their items can be taken out.
Mm-hmm.
There is really good gear up here normally. I'm gonna be skipping a lot of it.
Yeah, we're definitely running low on checks, so I'm guessing you kind of just want to get this done.
Yeah.
Ooh, a Mega Elixir.
Another Prism Helm.
Very nice. Yep, this can be a pretty good place to grind if you're not pressed for time, like we are now, but, you know, even aside from the rubbles, I don't even recommend taking the rubbles. It's these fights that have gargoyles. You know, avoid the bantam imps because no matter what, you have to hit them twice to kill them. Alright, now we're gonna fight Giga Gaia up here. Giga Gaia is a 3-part boss. Each of those hands is a separate part. And they're quite fast, and when they're still up, they like to do a lot of mean things in rapid succession. Luckily, Frog's got heal. He's at least got one tech that's desirable.
Yeah. Yeah, Chrono's sword attacks aren't doing that much because he's just got a 2 right now. All right. Another crisis sword. And there's lightning too. I am confused. Leap slash. There we go.
All right. And there's that pendant, which means the sword piece is still elusive. Probably it's in Hecarim Cave. But with that Lightning 2 spell, we can fire off screen wipe more than like once without opening the menu.
And using up all of my higher end ethers.
Yep. Yes, in this mode, no future means no Guardia prison sequence, so whichever side of the Save Fritz debate you happen to fall upon, it's moot here. You can't get the free drugs from Fritz. And those 10 free mid-ethers, I'm personally a huge fan, but like, you know, in modes where you can't get them, or if you don't have Chrono because you need Chrono to pick them up, not always something you can lean on.
Both of them dealing low damage. Everyone.
Yeah, I guess Chrono's been stuck on a 2 for a while. You do have a gold earring, I think.
I do.
That can be used to manipulate maximum HP, which can be nice for those crisis weapons. Actually, the interesting thing is that Robo, for whom the crisis weapon is intended, actually has very regular hit points. They're always a multiple of 5, and I believe after level 16 or 17, they're always a multiple of 5 that isn't a multiple of 10, which is to say you automatically have a 5, which is your average damage number. And I think that the gold earring on Robo at that point will guarantee him a 7 in that max slot, at least until he maxes out at 999.
Yep.
And HP manipulation for crisis weapons for other characters is a lot trickier. They are not built for it like Robo is, but if you can get it working, it's very nice.
And Chrono has Confuse, which is one of his best techs with a crisis weapon.
Nice, a magic seal. Dreambow. Magic seal's not bad. And here's Hecarim. The notable points about Hecarim are that you can only damage Hecarim significantly with magical attacks, and Hecarim hits kind of hard. That said, the HP in this slot is quite low. At 2,100. Definitely another one of those bosses that can be a lot scarier during rando when it gets swapped into, you know, some place that gives it 5 times the amount of HP it does normally. And this should be our sword piece. Yes, finally. So now that we finally have both pieces of that sword, the first thing we're going to do is take it to Melchior to put back together. And the usual use for the sword is opening up the magic cave to unlock Magus's castle, but it also has a secondary use, which is recruiting the character in the burrow. And we know that we need him because it's our boy. Ew.
And I'm gonna bring Luca with for the magic part.
Yeah, for sure. And there's your boy.
Yeah, X-Strike is the last text for both of them.
Yes, that's sadly unfortunate. Because the powered up X Strike is honestly quite nice.
Yeah, the weapons that they both have would have really made it awesome.
Yeah, they've both got their ultimate weapons. Chrono's HP would land back on a 9 or an 8 or a 7 eventually.
I would have been manipulating that as best as I could.
Yep. I admit that part of the reason I really like healing item rando alongside gear rando is when your HP curatives aren't curing for a multiple of 10, you can mess with that digit a lot easier. Like, honestly, literally any number, as long as it doesn't end in 0. Alright, so we're heading into the Northern Ruins, and this sequence is required to power up that ultimate weapon of Frogs, or Glenn's, I should be calling him.
And this is a lot safer now in the beta.
Yes, indeed. Cyrus, the fool who challenged your boy, rests here. Sounds like he effed around and found out.
Frog gets a power up.
Yes, and those power-ups are just permanent, you don't have to equip anything. Now that this is faster to do, that's possibly more of a viable strategy than it used to be. Because I would say it used to take too long.
It's shorter by a little bit, but it's a lot less scary because you don't have to fight 4 of these in one fight. And there was a chance of all 4 of them using grudge.
Yeah, they usually don't. But at the same time, if you're not high enough level, you only need 3 of them to use grudge to suffer the consequences. grab another heal here. Now, remind me if the rules changed. I know that you used to have to find the Grand Leon and do Northern Ruins before Magus's castle.
I think
Is that
it's still like that, but you need Frog and Magus in your party to do Northern Ruins.
that's fair? Okay, because I think you didn't used to need both of them.
No, you just needed Frog.
Yeah. That makes sense. And at this point, that makes it a lot less of a, like, sort of gotcha to do it before any of the go mode stuff. Or to save it for after, depending on the seed.
Yeah, with that +2 speed, I'd rather do the Northern Ruins as soon as I can.
Yeah. Speed in this game is king. Welcome to Batsy's castle. Those are some of my friends, don't mind them. Yeah, wipe your feet on the mat, and if you drink the last of the iced tea, please make some more. Nice little Jets of Time feature is that sparkly appearing so that you don't have to run the hallways first. Of course, in this mode of the game, this is kind of the enforced go mode. In normal play, this is typically the slowest one. It's not typically the slowest to unlock, so that's kind of the trick, knowing when to do it and when not to do it. But people don't typically want to see it late. But we've managed to cut out a little time from it, at least.
Yeah, with really good routing and knowledge, it can go kind of fast.
Yeah, indeed. It's a huge difference getting all the skips that you can and not getting any of the skips that you can. Alright, and here is our first showdown with Slash. The physical attacker of the two bosses in here. Slash is immune to the water element and resistant to all of the other elements, so physical damage is definitely the way to go against Slash if you can. That is not the case with Super Slash, however. counterattacks generally mean his HP is low, but they can hurt. So it's a really good thing that that leap slash delivered.
Yeah. Didn't want to use the shelter, but I had to.
I would say that this is definitely the time to do so.
The only reason I didn't want to is the next boss fight.
Power seal. In the alternate universe where we got extra, that power seal would be great. Now, Flea's mutant power is his counterattack, the stare. Flea can use it after he is down to half of his hit points after every attack. Here we go. And it is a very heavy physical attack. Luckily, that wasn't too bad.
With a party member down, I do not have to worry about the stare anymore.
Nope. All of your party must be up for it to be activated, so you can leave one person down and get around it that way. If you want to finish with your entire party up, typically the way to do so is to pile on as much damage in as few hits as you can. Be sir, ya boy. Dropped a magic tab, but we know it's crap.
I'm just taking a lot more damage than what I'm used to taking.
Sure. Does not hurt to come out here and shelter now, especially because I'm not sure you could walk out after you hit that for the second time.
No, after you might be able to, but
maybe I think you can. Yeah, maybe you can't if you leave this room. I think there is a circumstance under which the warp goes away, unless we fixed it in Jets, of course. But I know I've gotten stuck in here before. Excellent maneuvering in here. And here, of course, we have the hard mode version of the previous balcony room. Aku's using a trick there. On the bird before this one, the second and third party members can be used to make it walk off the path so you can go past it. The rest you can theoretically sneak by, but you need to be walking and not running. And every now and then we don't let go of the B button quite fast enough. The only element that would clear that fight in one go is water. Or non-elemental if you can hit all of them with it, but...
Yeah, there's a surprising amount of fights you can just run from.
Absolutely, and it's important to know what they are.
Getting to the final fights.
Yep. So this sequence is exactly as it is in vanilla, other than the drop tables. Greatest -2 is not so great, but it's something. I guess you can sell it if you really need to.
Yeah, I already did my shopping, and my shopping was those shelters. And for the Magus fight, I'm hoping for fire or shadow.
Indeed. Yeah, so the Magus fight is kind of the penultimate big fight of the run. Now, we were able to identify which character is going to be in Magus's place, because in Jets of Time we randomized that, and it changes the element of their ultimate attack which hopefully you won't even see. But it's certainly fun, and I won't spoil it for anyone who missed it earlier. All right, Dark Lord Ayla's had a few too many, and we got to put a stop to her. But she's not gonna come quietly. There's that coveted fire barrier. As you can see, using the strategy to lower the magic defense and then hitting with flare produced some very nice numbers.
Shadow was the other element I wanted.
Indeed. So now that we've got the desired element, hit with the Masamune to lower magic defense. And it should be noted that while the Magus character in Legacy of Cyrus is always the missing character, basically the future character check, in a typical seed, it could be anyone, and Magus could fight himself. Casting a spell means that the boss has gone into its second phase. And this is the point where everyone just kind of hopes to dish out enough damage to take it out before it uses the big attack, which luckily she did not use this time. Ayla is considered a little nastier than other characters to roll here because her ultimate attack is non-elemental, which means there's nothing you can do to absorb it. And if you think you need to get hit by that attack, it's nice to be able to soak the damage on at least one person. If you've got the gear to do so. Alright, so we are through Magus's castle, and now it's the home stretch. Ozzy's fort is the endgame dungeon. But we've got a bit of a gauntlet to get through first.
And one of the hardest fights in the game.
Indeed. That fight in here is not to be underestimated. There's a lot of conditionals. and it can go south pretty fast. First fight here, Flea Plus.
This one can still do the stare.
Mm-hmm. Yes, Super Slash is far less dangerous than typical Slash on his own. Flea Plus is about equally dangerous. I still don't understand where the plus comes from. It's not really minus, but you know what I mean? Like, it's pretty much the same. And now the Looney Tunes room. Nobody saw that. And here is Super Slash, who again does not have the aforementioned magical resistances. Not even to water, the element he normally completely nullifies. Good old Wolflobe sword.
Yes.
That's a known error in Chrono Trigger. I'm pretty sure you can even see it in vanilla sometimes under the right circumstances. And that could be just about any item, actually. Now the, you know, one of the most violent scenes in the game. Alright, and now the trio fight. This is the hard one.
That was a great Wonder Mune damage.
Yeah, that was excellent. In the beginning of the fight, it is very difficult to avoid any counterattacks. Slashes are typically the safe one. And if you hit Ozzy with the other two present, they will use Delta Force on you. The triple tech. And it's not a good time. And if you let them linger too long, they'll do it anyway. There we go, Slash is gone, and this is now much easier. But casting Flare with all three of them there could easily have been a wipe. And Flea luckily will run away. And now Ozzy can't do anything to you. And there we go. Hey, a speed tab. That's kind of insulting this late in the game, though. Because that's effectively the final battle. There are still a couple of formalities before we end the timer. Yeah, boy, you used me. So much like last time, we're gonna attack the switch.
And ending with a blunder immune attack.
Whoopsie doodle. Yep.
And time is when the cat hits the switch.
Yep. Get your G's ready. And GG. That switch. The stupid fool. And thus we fade to the credits. We've had the Magus ending put in as the credits for Legacy of Cyrus, which is pretty great. So GG Aku. That was a pretty good run. The routing got trolly, but you know, rando gonna rando.
Yeah.
Not finding that sword piece until late was unfortunate, but all in all, pretty good. Let's see. We should definitely plug the Jets of Time community. If you'd like to learn this randomizer in this mode or any other mode, you can go to www.ctjot.com, Chrono Trigger Jets of Time. And that website's got our seed generator, our Discord, and everything. You want to join the Discord? I'm sure lots of people would be happy to play with you, help out. And Aku's actually running a tournament under these flags imminently, I think.
Yeah, tomorrow is.
Yeah. But that said, it may not be too late to sign up. You can correct me if I'm wrong. And, you know, if not, I'm sure it's going to be fun to watch in any case. We'll definitely try to get some of those matches restreamed.
Yeah, the main prize for this tournament is getting your name in these credits.
Yes. So we'll see that moment up here in just a second. Luca lighting the stove on fire is a classic.
Chrono just sitting on the floor.
Oh yeah, he's probably like asleep. I mean, I feel like, you know, I feel like the course of the game is actually a special time for him and that his default state is probably asleep. And here we go, Magus, threatening Falcon Hit, who held the record for this category the last time that was updated.
Yes.
All right, and I know that we're a little over Kersey routing, so we should get signed off here. But yeah, thank you, Speed Gaming, as always, for hosting us in this marathon. Anything else you want to say before we sign off?
No, I'm good.
Alrighty, well, thank you everyone for watching the run, and have a good night or whatever time it is in your corner of the world.